It was when I was like 2 years old, and it was Thanksgiving Day, and my father had plans to go somewhere else, and my mother knew where he was going, and it wasn't to the store, so it was to a friend's house, female, so she asked him to leave. That was it. She'd had enough. She knew what was going on for a while, so they got married in 1951 or 1950. My brother came along in 1951. My mother said everything was fine. Everything was almost like perfect for the first 5 years. I came along in 55, and it seemed like she said after that, you know, when they bought the house, and I was in maybe the pressure or something, maybe something affected, but he wasn't around, and she was suspecting that he was out, you know, not being faithful. He left Thanksgiving Day, took the family car, and that was it. I don't even remember, like I said, it was only 2, so I don't even remember him coming back for clothes or any of those things. There was my mother without a car. He hadn't been paying the mortgage, and she didn't have a job. She would stay at home, and then a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. And she had a lot to take care of, to get things in order right after that. She got her old job back with New Jersey Bell that she left 5 years earlier. Her sister gave her a car, and her mother lent her money so she could get the house current so she wouldn't lose the house. You know, she had to go grocery shopping, she had to feed us, she had to get us off to school. Also, she had to find a babysitter full-time for me, so her take-home pay in 1957 probably was $40. 20 of it went to the babysitter. The lack of money definitely had an impact. Also, somewhere in the early 60s, things got a little bit more expensive. She had to rent out a room, and I think like $10 a week or something just to make ends meet. And that was for about 2 or 3 years, and then her salary increased and she didn't need that anymore. She had gone from the secretarial pool. She was a supervisor of the secretarial pool, but then somewhere in the late 60s, early 70s, they made her a engineering supervisor, and that was like a man's job. So she had resentment there. She ended up being a chief engineer. We had a nice house. My mother took care of everything. She cut the grass. She just took care of everything. Didn't feel like, I mean, she did a lot, and I didn't really appreciate it until, you know, I had my own family. I would say that I learned how to probably be a better father because I didn't want to be like my father. I didn't want to be out, you know, not be faithful, not to be around all the time. What made him leave? I think it was just him, because he had 3 wives after that. He was married 3 times after, and he had a total of, after us, 3 more children, each by a different wife. I saw my father, probably could count on that I remember maybe on both hands or one hand. And the last time I saw him was in court, family court, where 1980, I was already out of college, already working and everything, but they were still looking to collect child support because he never paid the child support all through the 60s and the 70s. So I just went in there basically to tell the judge that I really didn't care if we had the child support anymore. You didn't need to keep pursuing them. He wanted to talk to me on the court steps as we left, and I said, this is not a really good time to talk. And I left, and that was it. Last time I talked to him. I didn't miss my father at all. She never said a bad thing about him. It would have been nice to have him around for a day or two. I don't know if I would have wanted him back permanently, because would he have remained faithful? I think it's more accepted these days, single parents. Everything's changed. I mean, if you want to think of the Mrs. Doubtfire at the very end, you know, what is a family? You know, it could be just any 2 people. It could be, you know, if it's your aunt and uncle, if it's your grandparents, it's whatever, you know, you make a family.